Welcome back to Ant's Boxing Channel, my people. I got a little piece of news that I want to share with you. Nothing significant, but it made my mind race and it made my mind think, and I want to share with you what I began to formulate. So, it came out that Canelo Alvarez versus Jaime Munguia is not Canelo Alvarez revisiting the 3-fight deal that he originally had with the PBC. What it is a newly found 1-fight deal with Al Haymon's PBC to face Jaime Munguia May 4th, and after that, Canelo Alvarez will be a free agent. Now, I made videos where I was calling Canelo a duck. You know what I mean? He moving like a duck, he quacking like a duck, he looking like a duck, so he's a quacker, he's a duck. That's what I said, right? And I still stand by that until he faces David Benavidez, right? Now, I had a lot of people in my comment section that were telling me Canelo is waiting. Canelo's waiting it out because he's waiting until he finishes this deal so he can go to DAZN because they can put down the money so that Canelo and David Benavidez could get a bigger payday because the PBC can't pay them what they want or whatever they feel the fight's worth, this, that, whatever. If they go to DAZN and Benavidez goes to DAZN, then, you know, they got the Saudis, and the Saudis will put down whatever. You get what I'm saying? DAZN is cool with the Saudis. And now I'm starting to wonder if that's true. And if that's true, I can't speak bad on Canelo. Canelo has already told us he's going to give us 4 or 5 more years of boxing. He's already told us that. So it only makes sense that we will absolutely get Canelo Alvarez versus David Benavidez. Canelo doesn't retire without facing David Benavidez. There's no way he's going to fight for 4 more years. Whether that's at 168 or 167, because we know he's not going down to 160. I'm sorry, 168 or 175. And David Benavidez is going to be at 168 and 175, probably for the next 4 or 5 years. They're going to run into each other. There's a chance that Canelo Alvarez may be building this fight to be absolutely ginormous. Maybe Canelo's ducking. I don't put that past him. I don't put it past him. But maybe, giving him the benefit of the doubt, let's look at some things that have transpired, right? Everybody wanted to see Canelo versus Boo Boo. Everybody wanted to see Canelo versus Jamor, Canelo versus Jamel, Canelo versus Plant. Everybody wanted to see Canelo versus Munguia. And look, and Canelo versus David Benavidez, right? Now look at everything that's happened. Jermell Charlo, he moved up. That was, I didn't like how that happened, but it happened. It is what it is. He moved up 2 divisions. We got him versus Canelo. Of course, we wanted to see Canelo versus Jermell when Canelo was still at 154 and Jermell was still at 154. But at the end of the day, it happened. A lot of people, I remember, still felt Jermell was going to beat Canelo. Still felt Jermell could beat Canelo. So, you know, no excuses. It is what it is. Shame on Canelo for making that fight happen. And as far as Jermell, it is what it is. Why'd you go up 2 divisions to fight him? It don't matter. Boom. That happened. Jermell's knocked off the map. Jermell Charlo fell into mental issues and was out of the ring for 2+ years. Came back to fight Jose Benavidez. Didn't look spectacular at a bigger weight class, a catch weight 163. Jose Benavidez is not a natural 160-pounder, let alone 163. He couldn't stop him, couldn't drop him. Wasn't the best performance. As of right now, he's out of the map. Nobody wants to see Canelo versus Jermell Charlo. Caleb Plant, Canelo fought him, and that's history. He knocked him out, right? Jaime Munguia, now Canelo's about to fight him. He's about to fight him, and Canelo has to get past him. That's a tough task. That's a very tough task. Jaime Munguia, stylistically, will present a lot of issues for Canelo Alvarez. But let's see. Let's see, because Canelo Alvarez might have bigger plans in store and will refuse to let Jaime Munguia get in his way. I can't wait to see the fight. I think it's going to be a great fight. Now we go to who? Who's left out of the people everybody wanted to see Canelo fight? Demetrius Andrade, David Benavidez. Well, David Benavidez fought Demetrius Andrade, and David Benavidez destroyed Demetrius Andrade. So now Demetrius Andrade is out the map. So what happens is it looks like the landscape is clearing out. Everything is clearing out. And all that's left right now, from 160 to 168, is 4 fighters. There's only 4 fighters that's left. Jaime Munguia, David Morrell, David Benavidez, and Canelo Alvarez. That's it. Now, David Morrell, I threw him in there because he is a top fighter, a big threat to any of those guys. But at the same time, you could take David Morrell out. Because the fact of the matter is, even though David Morrell would be a great threat to anybody, David Morrell doesn't have the experience. Good amateur background. He looks like a great fighter. We see him. He looks dangerous. But he don't got the experience and the IQ to be in there with a world-class fighter. He might be able to probably give Munguia trouble because out of all of them, I feel Munguia's the least caliber. But I don't even know, like, he'll give all of them trouble, but I'm talking about beat. He may be able to beat Munguia, but Munguia could also beat him. It's tricky, you know what I mean? As far as David Benavidez, I feel like David Morrell still, he's a little bit premature still. He hasn't laid down he just hasn't had the experience. That's all it is. That's all it is. He needs a little bit more experience. So for me, I personally take him out. And David Morrell isn't part of when you think of Canelo Alvarez and his journey and everybody's wanted him to fight, David Morrell wasn't one of those guys. He kind of just came up within the last year and a half. You know what I mean? Got on the map. I don't even think he has 10 fights here. I don't know. But I know, experience. That's all it is. Now, the landscape is clearing. It's clearing because David Benavidez destroyed Boo Boo. And now Canelo's about to fight Munguia. After Canelo fights Munguia, that only leaves David Benavidez. Now, knowing Canelo Alvarez, there's a chance that he might take on Berlanga. Just for the heck of it. Once again, that's another dangerous fight. That's another dangerous fight for Canelo because of the power, the athleticism of Berlanga. That's a dangerous fight for anybody, man. Berlanga throws bombs. I think Berlanga hits harder than Canelo. I think Berlanga hits harder than David Benavidez and Jaime Munguia. He has more power than all those guys. Natural power, thumping power. Honestly, damn near some Artur Beterbiev type power. Not exactly. Artur Beterbiev hits harder for sure. But Artur Beterbiev is just overall a better fighter. You know what I mean? His punch placement, his accuracy, and all of that stuff. But when you're talking about raw power, Berlanga got raw power. But anyways, Canelo Alvarez, free agent after this fight. David Benavidez taking on that guy in 175. Right? Canelo said he got 4 or 5 more years in boxing left. If Canelo has 4 to 5 more years in boxing left, let's just think a little bit. Put your thinking hats on. Who makes for the biggest fight versus Canelo? David Benavidez, right? Now, if you got 4 or 5 more years in boxing left, why would you go on and unravel the biggest gift first? It's like Christmas, and you got all these gifts. Why would you go and do the biggest gift so then you can open all the little ones? You're going to start with the little ones. Start with the little gifts, and then boom, boom, save the biggest gift for last, right? So that's what I feel may be transpiring here. That may be what Canelo's doing. I'm not saying that's what he's doing. My mind started racing. I started thinking, and I'm thinking, there's some truth in what these people say when they're defending Canelo, when I'm calling them a duck. There's always 2 sides to a story, So maybe Canelo's not ducking, and maybe Canelo's just building the fight. Now, that's a dangerous game to play because this fight is at a point where it doesn't need further marination. It doesn't. It's kind of like when Crawford was fighting Spence. That fight didn't need to be prolonged any further. It happened at the perfect time. You could have argued that it should have happened when Crawford fought Avanesian. But my point is, you get it. You feel me? It's a dangerous game because Canelo could lose to Munguia. Benavidez could lose at 175. This guy he's about to fight, I'm not going to lie to you, I haven't done too much film study on him. I don't know what caliber fighter he is, how good he really is. I got to do some film study to see what they present for each other. But if Benavidez goes through him, Benavidez is talking about getting Bivol, getting Beterbiev. Those guys can absolutely beat David Benavidez. I think Beterbiev knocks Benavidez out. I think Bivol Benavidez is a 50-50 fight. Yeah, we've heard the rumors that Benavidez has beat up Bivol in sparring, but sparring is sparring. You know what I mean? That's not fighting. You get me? So ain't no telling. Now Canelo fighting Munguia, he could lose to Munguia. If Canelo takes on a Berlanga, he could. I know the chances it's not 50-50, But Berlanga could mess around and hurt Canelo when, hey, it's boxing. It only takes one punch. And when you got power like that, you're playing a very dangerous game if you're trying to prolong this fight from happening. But the purpose of this video was to say maybe Canelo is not ducking. Maybe Canelo's trying to build the fight even further. But if that's the case, it's a dangerous game to play. Maybe Canelo's just trying to wait it out so that him and Benavidez can both get supreme major paydays. Because if I don't know when David Benavidez turns free agent. I think they say he has like 1 more fight or 2 more fights or something like that with the PBC. But if they're free agents, or at least I heard that somewhere. Don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that. If anything, fact check me. Look it up. If you know the real information, leave it in the comments below. How many fights does David Benavidez have with the PBC before he's a free agent? But if that's close to happening, and Canelo's waiting for that to transpire so that they can go to the DAZN and go to Saudi Arabia and get that big bag put on for that fight, I ain't mad at Canelo for that. I ain't mad at Canelo for that. It's only going to be a bigger event. Both guys are going to get paid tremendously, but it's a dangerous game because both guys got to make sure they don't lose. And the opposition is to the point where they're facing top guys. They're only facing top guys now. There's no facing small, like lower level opposition where they're going to beat whoever they face. So that's it for Ann's Boxing Channel. As always, peace and blessings. I love y'all for tuning in. But I'm out.